It's been called the Citizen Kane of Christmas movies, Tim Allen's magnum opus, the defining role of his professional career. But while the Santa Claus 2 might look like an innocent, child-friendly film about the spirit of Christmas, there's a lot going on under the surface. Leading on from the crime thriller The Santa Claus 1, where Tim Allen murders Santa and then steals his powers and house in the popular North Pole tax haven, The Santa Claus 2 is a movie with some seriously disturbing and dark undertones. Exploring troubling ideas such as child labor, the struggle between man and machine, American football, fat people, romance, fascism, and dystopian robot futures, The Santa Claus 2 has long been hailed as the most influential and thought-provoking Christmas movie ever made. But for those of you that aren't film connoisseurs such as myself, the film's gritty and profound themes aren't always visible after a first viewing. And for the record, I'd like to point out that in order to make this video, I have watched The Santa Claus 2 multiple times. So if this doesn't get 10 million views, I will probably kill myself.
I am Santa Claus. Boo!
Before we can get into the messages behind both Tim Allen and Robot Tim Allen's brilliance in this film, we first need to understand what it's about. The plot centers around Tim Allen being forced into an arranged marriage so that he can continue to do the job that he stole off the original Santa Claus after murdering him in the original movie. And since being married is a requirement of the job, it can be assumed that Tim Allen also murdered the original Santa's wife as well, but this was done off screen. And not only that, but it turns out his son is a total dickhead and tries to ruin everything during the entire movie, including when Tim Allen tries desperately to seduce a school principal in order to keep his job as Santa Claus. In order to pursue his goal of preying on women, Tim Allen creates a robot clone of himself who struggles with the imperfection of humanity and organic beings, eventually installing themselves as dictator of the North Pole, before Tim Allen eventually returns to overthrow him after a struggle to take back his place as the true dictator. One of the most disturbing things about the film is the length of method acting that Tim Allen undertook to ensure that it was as believable as possible that he was not only Santa Claus, but also Robot Santa Claus, some of which he had planned years in advance by taking other roles. Think about it. Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story. Tim Allen as Santa where he makes toys. You gonna tell me that's just a coincidence? It's also said that to prepare himself for this role, Tim Allen went so far with his method acting that he actually wrestled with and fought children. In an interview with MTV, Allen was quoted as saying, "I just really wanted to get the Robot Santa football scene right. I would go down to my local park and just deck those little fuckers." Perhaps the most powerful dichotomy created by the film is the juxtaposition between Tim Allen and Robot Tim Allen, and how the two prove unable to exist alongside each other, ultimately leading to conflict and bloodshed. Tim Allen uses the North Pole's advanced research into intelligent AI and cybernetics to create a fully functional Robot Tim Allen in order to take care of the place. But Robot Tim Allen quickly becomes out of his depth, and despite help from his assistants, he's unable to become accustomed to the ways of the Fleshwalkers.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho.
This scene is incredibly powerful. It shows the struggle between man and machine, how we as organic creatures could never truly understand what it would be like to be an AI machine, but how they can never understand what it means to have a conscience, to have human thoughts, what it means to truly exist. In an interview with Keemstar, Tim Allen said, "Robots scare me. I'm fucking scared of robots. I made Robot Tim Allen in my appearance to help overcome my fear, but it only made it so much worse." The struggle between man and machine, between imperfection and perfection. Robot Santa seeks to iron out all of the mistakes and imperfections of the toy factory, and eventually iron out the imperfections from humanity itself. Are man and machine truly incompatible? Can we continue to function as a society along sentient AI beings? Should we be more worried about robots taking our jobs, or should we be more worried about them becoming dictators of entire nations? Another of the most powerful themes of the movie is its portrayal of fascism and how military dictators rise to power at the expense of the innocent. Robot Tim Allen's performance as a fascist dictator of North Pole is incredibly believable and has been touted as one of the finest acting performances in modern cinema. While Santa Tim Allen returns to Earth to get some coochie and slowly begins to regress back into his punished Tim Allen form, Robot Santa Tim Allen takes the reins at the North Pole, seizes the means of production, and turns it into a coal mine and arms manufacturing plant. Even after watching this film several times, I'm still torn on which historical dictator to best compare Robot Santa Tim Allen to. The obvious choice would be Hitler with his private military, but his communistic seizing of the means of production may liken him to Joseph Stalin, or perhaps the cult of personality he creates could liken him more to Mao Zedong. I think Robot Santa Tim Allen really channels all of the most evil men from history in his performance, which is what helps to make it so memorable, yet horrifying. This portrayal of fascism becomes even more poignant after Tim Allen's comments in 2017, when he equated being a conservative in Hollywood to being Jewish in Nazi Germany. This one's real, he actually did say that. Punished Tim Allen eventually leads a coup d'etat against Robot Tim Allen and overthrows his military police through guerrilla street fights. The fighting is so vicious and gruesome, some members of the military police are torn apart limb from limb. But you then have to take a closer look at Tim Allen himself, who abides by blatant capitalistic practices and allows McDonald's product placement to be in shot with him. This man is a corporate pawn, a man paid off by Big Biz to rule over North Pole under the facade of democracy and benevolence, but he is truly as iron-gripped as his robo-Nazi counterpart. In the end, despite the struggle between man and machine, between capitalism and communism, between democracy and fascism, are we ever truly human? Are we ever truly living in a utopian society? Are we ever truly free? Tim Allen's Santa Claus 2 Electric Boogaloo will always be an important part of cinema history, not for being a good movie, it's terrible, but for the bold themes it portrayed, for taking a risk in exploring areas that Hollywood dared never to touch before in a family Christmas movie. Every year when Christmas rolls around and this film is rerun on TV, a shiver runs down my spine, as unlike most people, I truly understand the madness behind it, what Tim Allen sacrificed and put himself through to make it, which is almost as disturbing as the themes the movie explores themselves. But the most disturbing thing about this movie? Someone spent $65 million on it. Jesus Christ, what'd they spend it on, the fucking robot suit?